It's your tech moment for May 21st, 2019. iPhone gyroscopes, of all things, can uniquely ID handsets on anything earlier than iOS 12.2. Your iPhone can be uniquely fingerprinted by apps and websites in a way that you can never clear, not by deleting cookies, not by clearing your cache, not even by reinstalling iOS. This story and more can be found at the links found on the blog. That story comes to us today from the Register. Tuesday morning's links from DSL Reports reads, FCC Chairman recommends approval of the proposed T-Mobile and Sprint merger after new T-Mobile promises to cover 97% of the U.S. population with 5G in 3 years. That story comes to us from VentureBeat.com. FTC seeks evidence that Broadcom's conduct harmed rivals in Wi-Fi and network switch chip markets, broadening its probe. That comes to us from Bloomberg.com. Who will buy Sprint's Boost? And will it even matter? That comes to us from LightReading.com. T-Mobile Sprint critics pan Pi's policy by press release, say conditions spinoff don't make deal more palatable. That comes to us from Multichannel.com. Also from them, Dish buys another chunk of EchoStar in an all-stock deal valued at $800 million. FCC's Carr and O'Reilly inclined to approve T-Mobile Sprint deal, would give Pi majority to approve deal. BroadcastingCable.com. California man receives 18-month sentence for emailing death threats to Ajit Pai. That comes to us from TechSpot.com. Samsung's first 5G phone is out for Verizon customers, reports CNN.com. And U.S. lifts Huawei ban and creates a general license, which expires August 19th, to restore Huawei's ability to maintain existing networks and push software updates to handsets. That comes to us from AndroidAuthority.com. So that brings us to the question, can Huawei make a phone without U.S. parts? This story comes to us from The Verge. On Sunday, Huawei got some life-threatening news from Google following an executive order that gives the federal government the power to block purchases of foreign-made technology deemed to be a security threat. Google announced that it had pulled Huawei's license to use Android. Yesterday, Commerce softened the blow by issuing a license, allowing Huawei 3 months to send software updates to existing devices. But even so, Intel, Qualcomm, and a number of other suppliers may be moving to cut the company off immediately. The company has reportedly stockpiled enough U.S.-made parts to last it anywhere from 3 months to a year, so it will have some time to prepare for the crisis. But at some point, that stockpile will run out, and Huawei will be faced with a difficult choice: either find a way to manufacture a smartphone without U.S. technology, or exit the smartphone business entirely. General Motors designs a new brain and nervous system for its vehicles. This story comes to us from Jonathan Gillum at Ars Technica. A common criticism of the increasingly digital nature of new cars and trucks is that all these new features are being shoehorned into systems that were not designed with features like connectivity in mind. The ubiquitous Controller Area Network Bus, CAN bus, first showed up in a new vehicle in 1991, long before anyone thought that it was a good idea to connect every new car to the internet. To that end, on Monday, General Motors revealed an all-new platform architecture designed with the needs of future-proofed connected autonomous electric vehicles in mind. It's the brain and nervous system of the vehicles, and it's 5 times more capable than the one fitted to current vehicles, said Al Adams, GM's Director of Electric Technology and Architecture. Adams is referring to the fact that the new electronic platform can manage processing up to 4.5 terabytes per hour, One feature of the new electronic platform is support for much higher bandwidth, which means component connections of 100 megabits per second, 1 gigabit per second, and 10 gigabits per second. Some of that will be helpful for the inclusion of advanced driver assistance systems, and Adams has said that the new electronic architecture will speed the rollout of GM's impressive Super Cruise driver assistance package across the automaker's lineup. It will also allow for higher resolution displays within the vehicle, whether that's the main instrument display in front of a driver or HD infotainment systems for passengers. The system has been designed with over-the-air updates in mind, an often requested feature now that Tesla has proven the idea out. Almost all of the modules on the system have the ability to be over-the-air updated, explains Adams. The interface is much like a smartphone and enables us to change the vehicle's character. Apple and Amazon cut a deal that upended the Mac resale market. This story comes to us from The Verge's Nick Slatt today. 6 months after Apple moved in, small sellers have all but disappeared from the Amazon marketplace. When John Bumstead looked at listings for his products on Amazon.com in early January, he was waiting for the guillotine to fall. A small online business owner from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Bumstead specializes in refurbishing and selling old MacBooks, models he typically buys from recyclers and fixes up himself. But on January 4th, Bumstead's entire business dwindled into non-existence as his listings were removed from the platform due to a new policy limiting all but the largest companies and specially authorized providers from selling Apple products. You go to your current items, your inventory items, and just watch them disappear that morning, Bumstead says on the fateful day the policy went into effect, confirming fears he first expressed in an interview with Motherboard last November. I pretty much had all my inventory, but as the day went on, you could see them dwindle down to 2 or 3 listings as they took them away. For small sellers like Bumstead, who's running his refurbishing business for years under the name RDKL Incorporated, the deal means you can no longer sell new or refurbished Apple products on Amazon Marketplace, the fast-growing third-party seller network that now takes in more revenue than Amazon's entire online operation. Some financial analysts estimate that the Amazon Marketplace is worth more than double the company's internal e-commerce business, or about $250 billion. For U.S. retailers, big and small, Amazon has become the preeminent place to sell products, rivaled only by eBay and Walmart's competing marketplaces and smaller, more product-specific platforms like Etsy and Overstock.com. Yet none of Amazon's competitors offer the same robust logistics and shipping benefits the company offers its sellers, making it a top destination for online businesses. Companies that want to sell products through Amazon now have to meet one of 2 requirements. The first is to purchase at least $2.5 million worth of refurbished inventory every 90 days from Apple itself, or through a retailer with more than $5 billion in annual sales, like a wireless carrier or big box retailers like Target or Walmart. The second is to reach out directly to Apple to become an authorized reseller. Apple has yet to make its reseller requirements known to the public, but to become an Apple authorized provider of repairs requires a physical retail space for customers to enter. By cutting this deal, Apple and Amazon benefit while knocking out millions of dollars worth of business for small sellers. For Apple, the move to sell on Amazon and its aftermath highlight the company's long-standing adversarial relationship with repair providers and resellers. Even those within the confines of Apple's strictly controlled network have faced Byzantine restrictions to acquiring proper equipment. You can read more about this at The Verge today. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, and see us on the blog, on YouTube, or anywhere you can get this podcast. Have a great day.